is the song. This, the prelude, and then I'll do opening words. Okay. All right.
Play the children out after there, before there.
After the anthem.
After anthem, before there.
Yeah. I'll say time to sing our children out. Wow, it's a beauty. Would you like to announce and somebody can claim it? Thank you, Jaime. And thank you all for being here today. It's so special to gather in our sanctuary on this Sunday morning. It's so good to see you all here. Some of you may be wondering why we don't have an order of service. Well, we're trying some things different nowadays, and eventually when we do have them ready, hopefully we'll be able to put them on a screen, and that way we won't have to use the paper and all the ink and all the time that it takes to print them out. I'll try to do my best to advise you on what's coming up as things do here. And so now we're going to have our opening words. According to the astronomical definition of the seasons, the fall equinox marks the beginning of autumn, which lasts all the way until winter solstice. As the time of the equinox means equal. So night and day are equal in time about right now. But soon the sun will be rising later, and nightfall will come sooner, and we'll have longer nights and shorter days. Maybe that'll result in some cooler temperatures. Just saying. Meanwhile, today at First UU Church, we welcome drumming master TBow Gonzales.
Thank you.
He will teach us and show us the art and the play of drumming. As autumn represents the preservation of life and its basic necessities, when nature prepares for winter by storing food and preparing places of hibernation, we anticipate our own hunkering down, whether separately or, I hope, together from time to time, finding ways to welcome strangers and bring ourselves into greater unity as community. Come, come, whoever you are. Our doors are open, our hearts are alive. May we affirm the truth that our acts of hospitality and all that we do in our midst will always have room for one more. Our opening hymn is Funga Alafia, and to give us a little heads up on some body percussion, if you don't have a drum on you, before we bring TBow up to lead us in it, we have Dr. Susan Dill.
Hi, everybody. The original percussion instrument is your body, and we teach kids through the ORF method using body percussion all the time in music education. So I'm just going to show you a couple things you can do if you don't have a percussion instrument in front of you. Hopefully you do, and those of you who picked one up from the table back there, please make sure to take it back afterwards. Okay, so the first level is stomping. Do that. All right? Easy peasy. Next level is patting. Next level is clapping. And the final level is snapping. Okay, let's do just a couple things like this. Listen, and then you do back. You echo me. Go. Go. That. So we're going to be doing a lot of echoing back with TBow today. Have fun, everybody.
Thank you, Susan. All right. TBow,
Hi.
it's all yours. What does this song mean?
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
The song means, Funga means welcome, right? Welcome, welcome. So the song is like a call and response, right? So I go, Funga Alafia, you say, Funga Alafia, right? Ashe, ashe,
Ashe, ashe,
Funga Alafia,
Funga Alafia,
ashe, ashe,
ashe, ashe,
Kawo ileba,
awo enepa,
ashe, ashe,
ashe, ashe,
Kawo ileba, right?
awo enepa,
Ashe, ashe,
ashe, ashe,
that's right. Ashe, ashe,
ashe, ashe,
ashe, ashe,
ashe, ashe,
Funga Alafia,
Funga Alafia,
ashe, ashe,
ashe, ashe.
Funga. All right. I think we got that. Okay, so somebody left their stick out in the parking lot. See it on top of this red drum? If you're missing your stick,
It's a beautiful
please take it, because I'm going to take it home with me.
leather-wrapped stick.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Funga Alafia.
Funga Alafia.
Ashe, ashe.
Ashe, ashe.
Funga Alafia.
Funga Alafia.
Ashe,
Ashe,
ashe.
ashe.
Gawo Ilegba.
Awo aleha.
Ashe, ashe.
Ashe, ashe.
Gawo Ilegba.
Awo aleha.
Ashe,
Ashe,
ashe.
ashe.
Funga. Here we go. Funga Alafia.
Funga Alafia.
Ashe, ashe.
Ashe, ashe.
Funga Alafia.
Funga Alafia.
Ashe, ashe.
Ashe, ashe.
Gawo Ilegba.
Awo aleha.
Ashe, ashe.
Ashe, ashe.
Gawo Ilegba.
Gula aleha.
Ashe, ashe. Hey!
Ashe, ashe.
Funga!
One more time, huh? One more time.
Here we go. Funga Alafia.
Funga Alafia.
Ashe, ashe.
Ashe, ashe.
Funga Alafia.
Funga Alafia.
Ashe, ashe.
Ashe, ashe.
Ashe, ashe.
Ashe, ashe.
Ashe, ashe.
Ashe, ashe.
Funga Alafia.
Funga Alafia.
Ashe, ashe.
Ashe,
Here we go.
ashe.
Thank you.
We're gonna ask our children to stay with us. We're gonna do a little talking, and then we're gonna play another song before we sing you out. But now it's time to pass the peace. And the way we're passing the peace lately is by welcoming each other silently, but with enthusiasm. Can you do that? Greet your neighbor, put your hands to your heart, bow your head, wave your hand, smile with your eyes. Let's light up our hearts and give each other the greeting. Drum roll. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being so enthusiastic. And welcome to the First Unitarian Universalist Church of San Antonio. Yay! Our weekly worship is where we connect and share information and inspiration. And let's acknowledge this geographical place where we currently are located, the home and traditional lands of the Colwil-Tecan people, original and indigenous stewards of this land to which we now belong, also called Bexar County, Texas, and San Antonio. Let's recognize that many of these indigenous people, even today, have not been recognized by our federal government, and yet continue to serve as vital contributors to our communities, even while living with, among and even as us. We are indeed comprised of a diverse and multicultural community of communities. At our church, we aspire to believe and act in universal love that binds us in mutual care and affection, especially in our work for justice for all and for our beloved Mother Planet. Our faith is all-inclusive, and we welcome you all, if you are new to us today, visiting online or in person, to fill out a visitor card so that we may follow up with you. Wherever you are on your life journey, we hope you will find a place with us. It's time for our chalice lighting, and Polly and Jim Noel.
Symbolizes the spirit of our faith. Today's chalice lighting words remind us that we reside on a spinning planet in an orbit around our central star, the sun, a movement leading us into the season of autumn. It's a season of regathering and harvesting the fruits of our togetherness as we renew the bonds between us. With hearts and hands and minds open, we hold on to love and each other as we grow into beloved community.
We are called as Unitarian Universalists to build the beloved community where all are welcome as blessings, and the human family lives in forgiveness and grace, whole and reconciled. We know that this aim takes work, and so we are committed to live and behave as a community in covenant. Let's recite our covenant that articulates our guidelines and binds us together in community. Love is the doctrine
of this church. The quest of truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other. Thank you, Polly and Jim. It's time for our anthem, which TBow will lead us in. Me? Yeah, isn't this, what's Harambe mean?
It means pulling together, right? We should all pull together, right? Pull together. So when I say Harambe, you say Harambe. It's kind of a call and response, right? It's always there.
We like call and response.
All right. So I go, if you believe in pulling together, say Harambe.
Harambe!
Harambe.
Harambe!
Harambe.
Harambe!
If you believe in pulling together, say Harambe.
Harambe!
Harambe.
Harambe!
Harambe, you got it.
Harambe!
Harambe. Oh. Right, you got it? If you believe in pulling together, say Harambe.
Harambe!
Harambe.
Harambe!
Harambe.
Harambe!
If you believe in pulling together, say Harambe. 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 You say Harambe. Oh. Right. All right. believe in pulling together, say Harambe. 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 All right. If you believe in pulling together, say Harambe. 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 You say Harambe. If you believe in pulling together, say Harambe. 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 If you believe in pulling together, say Harambe. 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 Everybody say, here we go. Harambe.
Thank you, TBow. So, besides meaning pull it together, it's a Swahili word. It's the official motto of the nation of Kenya. It even appears on its coat of arms. Thank you for teaching it to us, TBow Gonzales. It's time to sing our children out. And Jaime, would you lead us and we'll all sing together? Beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that we could be together in our sanctuary today. It's time for our candles of joys and sorrows. Ours is a welcoming community where we find connection, a spiritual community where we come fully alive. Ours is a sharing community where our joys are amplified, a caring community where our sorrows are heard and held in compassion. Especially at this time of complexity, may we listen more deeply and grow more involved and connected to each other. And as a way to connect as community, you're invited to mindfully come forward down these side aisles where you'll find the candles at the head of the aisle. Keep some space between yourselves, 6 feet if possible, and join silently in coming forward to light your candles of joys and sorrows. For those of you who do not want to process, we recognize that you may have some very strong intentions in your hearts, and we will share those with you. So come down the aisle, either go back up the center aisle or the far side aisles, whatever is most convenient for you to get to your seat. It's a pretty tight far side aisle over here. Jaime, please play some meditation music. Thank you for being so mindful. I invite us all now to take a deep, cleansing breath and let it go. For all our joys, sorrows, and concerns, may we truly feel empathy and compassion. And may the caring of our community offer a space of deep kindness, loving, and just action. Amen. It's time for our invitation to generosity. Today we share the plate with Healthy Futures of Texas. Since 2006, our own Dr. Jan Riolini, when she founded this unique organization, Healthy Futures of Texas has worked to reduce unplanned and teen pregnancies through science-based education and advocacy efforts that empower young people, women, and families to make the best decisions for their futures. Healthy Futures of Texas drives progress for a healthier Texas. Whew, what a job. Through advocacy at the Texas legislature, state agencies, school districts, city councils, it is there to ensure best policies are enacted and budgets for health care are preserved and expanded. It is working triple time right now. It also is involved with education, working with youth, parents, schools, and community colleges to implement high-quality sex ed and clinical referral programs that move the needle on adolescent health outcomes. It's involved with curriculum design, from traditional multi-lesson facilitator-led curricula for youth and parents to innovative strategies involving youth as curriculum co-developers. Healthy Futures is a leader in developing sex ed that works. And finally, partnerships. What will we do without our collaborative partnerships? Healthy Futures is involved in these, including governmental agencies, universities and college, school districts, and nonprofits, creating a collaborative network that strengthens communities across the state. Our ushers will now pass our offertory baskets, and for those of you viewing online, we invite you to make a contribution through our website, uusat.org, Mike, under the link Give on our homepage. And you may use a credit card, thank you, Mike, a debit card, your checking or savings account to make all these contributions online. And if you want to, you may simply send a check to our office made out to First UU, and in the note line write Healthy Futures. Let's share our plate today with this worthy organization. Let's be grateful for the abundance that we have to share and for the opportunity to share with something that is making a big difference. It's time for our offertory anthem, too, and TBow will perform his original song, If My Heart Could Sing.
Thank you for having me. Give it up for the pastor, Mark. Give it up for Jaime, the keyboard player, and Dana Clark in the back there. All right, that was kind of a typo. So anyway, the song is, There's a Song in My Heart. Uh-huh. Goes like this. There's a song in my heart. I wish that I could sing. It would mean everything to me if my heart could sing. There's a song in my heart. I wish that I could share with everyone, everywhere. I would sing. If my heart could sing, I'll sing a song of joy, a song of peace, a song of love that will never cease. I'll sing a song of peace, a song of neighborhood, a song that won't be misunderstood. I'll sing a song. I'll sing a song. I'll sing a song. I'll sing a song if my heart could sing. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't know about y'all, but I got goosebumps. Thank you, TBow.
Thank you.
For our offertory response, may we truly envision in our hearts, in our minds, in our bodies, that there is enough for ourselves and for all people, and learn to live into that truth. May our blessings be multiplied through the sharing of this truth and today's generous gifts to healthy futures of Texas. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, ushers. Well, the minister always has to have some words, even on a day that's dedicated to drumming in the autumnal equinox. Well, what does a drum symbolize? What does a drum mean? Now, for indigenous peoples, the drum represents the universal heartbeat of the planet. Mother Earth. The earliest stories from the indigenous tell stories that it was the first sound that played the rhythms of the earth. We often associate drums with the continent of Africa and the indigenous peoples of this land. They play an important role in every aspect of African and indigenous life, including the physical, the emotional, and the spiritual. Drums are played to communicate, celebrate, mourn, and inspire. They're drummed in times of peace and war, planting and harvesting, birth and death, and all kinds of commemorations of rituals. I knew something of this when I turned 21, and I asked my dear dad to gift me with a drum. This is it. 51 years later. I still have it. I play it. I revere it. I'm learning better how to play it from a drum master. It's a symbol that supports the integration of my whole life, like that of the indigenous, mind, body, and spirit. So today we're being treated with an gift of the in-the-moment music making. TBow is leading us so that we may engage together to create a group rhythm and cooperate in rhythmic patterns. These patterns are at the source of our stories, songs, and all kinds of creative play. After all, we're playing drums. Now, a drumming circle allows us the development that takes place in working by playing. In many varied enterprises, these lessons can be transferred into leadership, training, group skills, building, various enterprises that involve communications of all kinds, group well-being, productivity, for direct outcomes such as personal and national and community health, as well as contributions to everyone that truly exemplifies that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. It is especially, and the reason why I wanted to have it here at our second live service of the year, also our second live streamed service, a tool for building unity. A drum beat or drum pattern is a rhythmic pattern, repeated rhythms establishing meter and groove through the pulse and subdivision played on drums and other percussive instruments, including good old body. A drum circle offers an experience of non-discrimination, equality, if you will, because it includes people of all races, colors, religions, ages, gender expressions, disabilities, sexual orientations, skill levels, and more. The main objective is to share rhythm and to get in tune with each other and with our own selves. There are many benefits of drumming. The physical, sensory nature of drumming provides a unique aesthetic experience, and recent research indicates that drumming accelerates physical healing. Drum into my hip, y'all. I just can't stand still when I'm drumming, so maybe that's a good thing. We'll just move some of this energy. It boosts the immune system. We have people who are immunocompromised. Not many in this room today, but hello out there on the internet. We are drumming for you. We want to support your immune system. It assists in releasing emotional trauma. Yes, trauma. Drumming has a positive effect on anxiety, grief, fatigue, depression, and all kinds of behavioral issues. Drumming can also induce deep relaxation, lower the blood pressure, and reduce that big killer of so many, stress. And of course, group drumming alleviates isolation and alienation. What a way to come back together after 18 months of being relegated to silos and various phases of quarantine. Drumming releases endorphins, which are chemicals produced in the body to relieve stress and pain, and enkephalins, naturally occurring peptides in our bloodstream related to endorphins, and other physiological effects. The alpha brain waves, which are associated with general feelings of relaxation and well-being and even euphoria, are stimulated. Question is, are drummers' brains different? Ladies and gentlemen, you may not be able to see it. But let me tell you a little bit about it. People who play drums regularly for years differ from unmusical people in their brain structure and function. The result of a new study done at a university in Germany suggests that people who play drums regularly have fewer but thicker fibers in the main connecting canal between both hemispheres of their brains. That's hemispheres. In addition, their motor brain areas are organized more efficiently. Let me explain. This study of drummers made some conclusions. These are people who had played drums for a long time. Their brains had changed due to neuroplastic processes. So let's look into drummers specifically. No one had ever looked into drummers specifically in this university medical school study, but the researchers showed that the motor coordination far surpassed those of untrained people. I mean, hey, look at this. 3 drums, 2 hands, a microphone, sitting on a cajon. I mean, there's a lot going on here. Most people can only perform fine motor tasks with one hand. Some of you may have studied piano, and you know, maybe if your dominant hand is your right hand, it's a good thing that a lot of the melodies were written for the right hand, because you might be able to play that. But then to add the left hand, and you know, we have a great example in Jaime Ramirez, our artist in residence. A lot of people can only perform fine motor tasks with one hand and have problems playing different rhythms with both hands at the same time. Drummers are found to do things that are fairly impossible for untrained people. So the research tested 20 professional drummers who had played their instrument for an average of 17 years and currently practice and perform for more than 10 hours a week. It examined the MRIs of their brains while they were playing, and it compared the data with 24 non-musical control subjects. And the first step, both groups had to play drums to test their abilities and were examined by the MRI. The drummers had clear differences on the front part of their brain structure that's called the corpus callosum. It connects the 2 hemispheres, enabling the communication. The data in this experiment indicated that the drummers had reduced the number of fibers to a few interstate 10s. These are wide, multiple-laned, thick structures that connected the 2 brain hemispheres more quickly than those of non-musical control groups. The brain structure predicted the performance in the drum test, and the greater measurement of those thickness of the fibers, the better the drumming performance. Moreover, while they're drumming, the brains are less active in drummers. Interesting. The phenomenon is called sparse sampling. More effective brain organization in the motor task areas leads to less brain activity in professional drummers. You got some brain stuff going on? Let's do some drumming. See what'll happen. Let me close today with a thought about the evolution of communication. Before language became primary, it's theorized that we might have communicated more as pre-verbal empaths through drum signals and other nonverbal means. Perhaps the skill sets that we can cultivate in a drum circle will assist us in recalling these mysteries of communication that we used to encounter more regularly many, 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 many years ago, before we became so accustomed to the use of language as our primary means of communication. Perhaps drumming together might inspire us to remember some of those pre-verbal skills and create new skills of communication to enhance our paths going forward. To summarize, people gather in drum circles with others to form community, which can lead to building greater community. A drum circle offers equality. It includes people of all kinds. Its objective is to share rhythm and to get in tune with oneself and with each other. It can form a group consciousness in order to entrain and resonate with one another. By these I mean that a new voice, a collective voice, can emerge from a group as it drums together. I wonder what your experiences of the phenomenon of drumming might include. And I hope you will benefit from today's exploration into drumming together. And I'd like to invite TBow one more time to lead us in playing and singing Harambe as we join together with the heartbeat of Mother Earth. Will you do that for us, TBow?
Of course.
Let's all join together.
All right. So I have these 3 drums here if anybody want to play them. There's 3 ladies over there. I don't want to play. Come on, don't be afraid. Any one of them. Okay, we have 2 spare drums. Come on, please, hurry.
Jaime.
They won't hurt you. Come on now. It's going to change your life.
There we go. All right.
Or something. All right. You know this song, right? Harambe?
Harambe.
Harambe. All right, Harambe means what? Pulling together. So when I say Harambe, you say Harambe. Harambe. Oh. If you believe in pulling together, say Harambe. Harambe. Ah, Harambe. What? If you believe in pulling together, say Harambe. 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 Hey! Harambe. Oh. If you believe in pulling together, say Harambe. 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 What? If you believe in pulling together, say Harambe. 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 All right. Harambe. Oh. All right, keep it going. Roll. Thank you. Thank you.
Would you mind extinguishing our chalice for us, TBow? We've got a little gizmo down there, looking like a little bell. You can just slip it over the flame and
Turn it off.
yeah, extinguish. This is the man who lit our flame, and he will put it out. Thank you, sir. We thank you for your skillfulness, your inspiration, the support of Dr. Susan Dill, our Director of Music and Body Percussion. We are grateful for our audio-visual crew that helped put this onto the internet today and helped make us hear better within our own big, wonderful room. We are grateful for Kathy McFarland, our congregational administrator. I want to tell you, she's quiet, and she is the glue that's got us all sticking together today. So thank you, Kathy. Let me tell you a little story about drumming circles. I was the minister at San Gabriel UU in Georgetown for 8 years. And right at the beginning, I had a couple of people come up to me and say, you know, what we need is a drumming circle. And we ought to do this at least once a month. Maybe we'll do it around the full moon. Did anybody see that big old moon out there last night? Oh my gosh, I think it's even going to be fuller tonight. we're coming up on this equinox thing. Well, we started a drum circle on the closest Sunday late afternoon to the full moon. And it turned into one of these potluck kinds of things. People would bring food, we'd drum for a half an hour, we'd eat for a half an hour, we'd drum for another half an hour. And then we started doing it twice a month. On the full moon, when we would talk about what had happened during the month, and on the new moon, 2 weeks later, when we were talking about what we wanted to happen. You know, we wanted to set some intentions. And the drum circle was the perfect place for us to celebrate that and to motivate that to happen. So I trust that from today's service, you'll take away a renewed enthusiasm and information and inspiration for the integration of your body, mind, and spirit through a drum circle. And I will leave it at that. Just a little suggestion that we might have a drum circle here. Let's now enjoy the postlude by Jaime, and afterwards, for those of you who have assembled online, in lieu of your coffee hour, we're going to ask you to come on to a Zoom at about 12:15, when we will have board members here to help us have a listening circle. We did these fairly regularly over the last 18 months. Now I think we're looking at doing them about every other month. You'll get announcements about them. But we hope that those of you who are here will maybe go grab yourself a cup of coffee or a drink or something like that, a moment of fellowship. Come back in here at 12:15. We will have a live board listening circle for your Q&A, and we will also invite the folks on Zoom to come back from 12:15 to 1 or 1:15. So please remain and participate that our leadership may hear from you, and let us go out with Jaime's beautiful music.